Listen carefully. Souls land here with purpose, clear intention, specific mission. Then something happens, we call it birth, but it's really suspension. Suspended between what we came to do and what the world tells us we are. The morphic field wraps around us, generations of conditioning. Like gravity we can't see but feel. Your purpose gets masked, covered with shoulds, buried under expectations, drowned out by noise of who you're supposed to be. The filters start early, family patterns, cultural programming, religious doctrine, all living in the field waiting to shape new arrivals. These filters aren't just beliefs, they're testing mechanisms, drawing circumstances that reinforce the suspension. You came knowing connection, learned separation, instead came remembering source, then got taught to treat it as third party. Someone external, up there, separate, needing intermediary to reach what you already are. The book of Revelations, prophecy, apocalypse, end times harness millions of disconnected souls. Quantum entanglement works through attention. What you focus on, you feed. What you fear, you create. Revelations gave disconnected masses something to focus on collectively, and through that collective attention, they helped materialize the very chaos prophesized. Billions of people for centuries, feeding energy into apocalyptic vision, creating turmoil through focused fear. That's not prediction, that's participation. What did we trade our soul connection for? Some trade it for wealth and lament the isolation. Success put the world at my feet, but nobody sees the human underneath. Surrounded by people attracted to persona, the accomplishment, the power, never the soul. The very thing they pursued creates the barrier to what they want. Others trade connection for different currency, creating chaos becomes the substitute. Manipulating systems, destabilizing nations, creating destruction provides satisfaction when genuine bonding is impossible. Is power the replacement for what the soul hungers for? We're all suspended to varying degrees between purpose and conditioning, between soul and persona. The filters create circumstances testing whether we remember. Some never question it, live entire lives suspended. Some feel the hunger, that gnawing wrongness, the soul crying out but don't know what they're missing. And a few start to remember. There's a longing that has no name. Hunger for connection so real you feel it like physical pain, not connection to a constant or wealth, not even connection to other suspended souls playing roles. The hunger is for unmasked presence, meeting without agenda, being seen without filter, touching soul to soul without economic barrier, without social conditioning. Without defensive structure, that's what we're all seeking. Even those creating chaos, especially those lamenting isolation. When that phone rings about insurance, protection, backing, security, we think financial property, liability, life, but the insurance we actually need is against total suspension, against forgetting completely, against trading our soul connection for things that can never satisfy. What backs us, what protects us from losing ourselves entirely, only one thing. Remembering. Look at the world now, chaos, division, breaking systems, everything solid, crumbling. This isn't the end, it's the breaking of the suspension. Old morphic field patterns that kept souls sleeping are losing grip. The filters are becoming visible, the trade is becoming obvious, the hunger is becoming unbearable. That's actually good news. Because suspension only works when you don't know you're suspended. Once you see it, you can choose differently. The biggest trick was convincing a source is separate out there, up there, someone to pray to, something to earn favor with, authority to please, when the truth is we are expressions of source, not separate, not disconnected, not needing intermediary. Treating source as third party keeps us suspended from our own power, keeps us searching externally for what's already internal. That's the filter, the suspension mechanism. That's what Revelation actually reveals. Here we are, souls suspended in morphic conditioning. Some lamenting isolation despite success, some creating chaos as substitute for bonds, all hungry for something real. The revelation isn't about end times. It's about seeing the suspension for what it is. You came with purpose, it got masked but not erased. The filters create testing to see if you'll remember. And the only insurance against total loss is finding one moment, one connection, one taste where soul touches soul without trade, without agenda. That's the revelation, the breakthrough. Not apocalypse, but awakening.